Now it's time to design the main structure of the castle. Yes, the real venture is about to begin. So yes, let's now move on to it. But before that, we have to move the house and the tower to both the right and left sides of the work plane. And then we will add the castle in back of them, right in the middle of the work plane. So initially, select the tower completely by dragging the mouse and place it at the left side using the arrow keys. Similarly, select the structure of the house by dragging the mouse to position it to the right side with the help of the arrow keys. Good. Now let's continue to design our mighty castle. While hearing about castle, a lot of image will flash through your mind, right? But today we are going to design a simple castle in just few minutes. So let's see how it's done. So the first shape that we need to add onto our work plane is a box that will act as the base structure for the castle. Then move the cursor to the basic shapes tab and select the box shape. Now drag and drop it to the place on the required position on the work plane. Also, zoom into the box by scrolling up the scroll button of the mouse. Then, let's paint this box. So you know what to do for that, right? Yes dear, click on the solid option from the specification box and from the color palette, easily pick the pale yellow color for the box. That's it. Now we can set the dimensions for the box. So click on the white handle at the right bottom of the box. Select the width to set it as 36 and press Enter key. Then click on the value of length to assign it as 47 and press Enter key. Now to adjust the height, click on the white handle at the top of the box. Then set the height as 34 and press Enter key. The next thing that we have to do is to make a hollow cavity inside the box. The importance of this cavity will be soon revealed to you as we proceed. This cavity is that much important to add the remaining structures into the castle. So yes, how can we make a hollow cavity inside the box? Let's figure it out. So initially, we want a duplicate box to be created for this. Then to create the duplicate, move the cursor to the taskbar and click on the duplicate tool icon. Or simply press Ctrl+D. Yes, the duplicate box is now created. So now move and place it at the left of the original one using the left arrow key. The idea here is to insert this box inside the original one. So we want a much smaller box. Then yes, let's adjust the dimensions of the box to make it possible. So, click on the white handle at the right bottom of the duplicate box to adjust its length and width. The original box width was 36 and length was 47, right? So now select the width to adjust it to 33 and press Enter key. Then click on the value of length to set it as 44. And press Enter key. What was the height of the original box? Yes, 34. Then click on the white handle at the top of the box to adjust its height. Then set the height as 30 and press Enter key. Now, before inserting the duplicate box inside the original one, we have to make it hollow in order to make a hollow cavity inside the box. So to make it hollow, what should we do? Perfect dear, the hole tool. So move the cursor to the specification box and click on the hole tool. It's done. The box has now turned hollow. Now we can insert the hollow box into the original box and group both the boxes to create a hollow cavity inside the box. Then we can now move the duplicate hollow box into the interior of the box using the arrow keys. The duplicate box has to be positioned at the center of the interior of the box. We can adjust its position using the arrow keys. And yes, the hollow box is not visible for us, right? But we can't be sure of the alignment of the hollow box with this view, right? So we can use the Align tool to get the alignment precise. Then select the box shape including the hollow box completely by dragging the mouse. Now move the cursor to the toolbar at the top right side and click on the Align tool icon. Well, the black dots have now appeared around the structure, but its visibility is so less. So we have to get an aerial view of the box to make it clear. Then adjust the 3D cursor to get a view from the top of the box. Now click on the black dot at the center of the front portion. Then adjust the 3D cursor to get a good look at the black dots in the left side. Now click on the black dot at the center of the left side. Good, the alignment is now set. And let's now have a detailed view of the box from all the directions to double check it. The alignment is now done. Now, as the alignment is done, let's group the two boxes to make a hollow cavity inside the box. So, get a perfect front view of the box using the 3D cursor. Then select the structure of the box completely by dragging the mouse. Now, move the cursor to the toolbar and click on the group tool icon or press Ctrl+G. The grouping is over now. But is the hollow cavity created as per required? Let's have a look at it by having a bottom view of the box. So adjust the 3D cursor to get a bottom view of the box. Yes, the interior of the box has now got a hollow cavity exactly as we planned. Well done, buddy! Did you know there are more than 10,000 medieval castles still occupied in Asia and Europe? So buddy, take a thorough look at the castle. What do we need next? Yes dear, you are correct. We need pillars. The pillars should be added in 4 sides of the box structure with a conical top also. So let's see how we can add the pillars. Then initially, to create a pillar, which shape do we want? What is your guess, dear? Yes, a cylinder, and that's what we want. So, move the cursor to the Basic Shapes tab and select the cylinder shape. Then drag and drop the cylinder to place it near the box. So first, let's paint the cylinder in the same pale yellow color we gave for the box. Therefore, go to the specification box and click on the solid option. From the color palette, select this pale yellow color and that's it. And up next, let's set the dimensions for the cylinder. So click on the white handle at the right bottom of the cylinder. Now select the value of length to set it as 12.73 and press Enter key. Then click on the width value to insert it too as 12.73 and then press Enter key. Now we have to see the height for the cylinder. The height of a pillar got to be a bit high, right? So to set the height, click on the white handle at the top of the cylinder. Now assign the height as 53.73 and press Enter key. Now we can just place the cylinder to the left side of the work plane using the arrow keys. Also, zoom out the work plane by using the scroll button of the mouse. The pillar is not still complete, right? But yes, we have to add a conical top above the cylinder to make it look like a pillar. So, move the cursor to the Basic Shapes tab and select the cone shape. Then drag and place it on the work plane. Initially, we can paint the cone red to make it attractive. So click on the solid option from the specification box to access the color palette. Then pick the red color from the color palette. And that's it. Now we have to set the dimensions for the cone. So click on the white handle at the right bottom of the cone. Then select the length value to set it as 14 and press Enter key. We want the same value as width. So click on the width value and set it as 14. Then press Enter key. Now to adjust the height, click on the white handle at the top of the cone. Assign the height as 16.28 and press Enter key. Oh, but why 16.28, isn't it? Don't worry, buddy. I have done all the math for this. So yes, I got this. Okay buddy, so now we have to place this cone at the top of the cylinder. But how do we do that? Yes, we must lift the cone up using the triangle arrow. So, click on the triangle arrow and lift up the cone until its base reaches the height of the cylinder. Now, that's enough I think. Then we can now move the cone to the left using the left arrow key to place it at the top of the cylinder. Well, adjust the position precisely by using the arrow keys and place it exactly at the top. Okay, I think we have to lift it a bit down to make its position perfect. So click on the triangle arrow to lift it down a little. Now adjust its alignment using the arrow keys as the base of the cone covers the top of the cylinder. What about the precision of the arrangement? I think it will be better if it goes up a single unit. So click on the triangle arrow to lift the cone up to a single unit. Then adjust its position as required using the arrow keys. Now that's the maximum precise alignment that we can do, right? But we have the Align tool that can give us the pinnacle of perfection in alignment. So now to align the cone, select the portion containing the cone and cylinder using the mouse. Then move the cursor to the toolbar and click on Align tool or press L button in the keyboard. Well, the black dots have appeared around the pillar to correct the alignment. So initially, click on the black dot at the center of the cylinder. Then click on the black dot at the left side of the structure. Hooray! The alignment is done with utmost precision. So we can now just take a detailed look at the alignment's perfection by using the 3D cursor. Yes, the pillar is set now. So now, before adding the pillars, we need to add another important structure. Can you guess what it is? And it is a tower to be placed above the box. So now let's add the tower and then we can add the pillars. So buddy, do we have to make a tower from scratch? No, because we already have a tower in our work plane, right? Yes, the tower that we designed for our warm-up. Told you it will be useful for a castle, right? So as we have the tower now, we can just duplicate this tower and add it on top of the box. So zoom out the work plane a bit more using the scroll button of the mouse. Now select the tower completely by dragging the mouse. To create a duplicate of the tower, move the cursor to the taskbar and click on the duplicate tool or press Ctrl+D. Well, the duplicate tower is now created and merged with the original one. So we can now separate the duplicate tower by using the right arrow key. Move the duplicate tower to the right using the right arrow key. Now move the tower to the interior of the box using the arrow key. See, just like that, we have to place the tower on top of the box, right? So what shall we do? Yes, click on the triangle arrow and drag it to lift up the tower. Lift it straight until it reaches the top of the box. How is the positioning now, buddy? Let's take a look at it closely by scrolling up the scroll button of the mouse. Looks good, right? But wait, we haven't still grouped the shapes in the tower. Unless we group the shapes in the tower, we cannot adjust the dimensions and other properties of the tower as a whole, because it will affect the other shapes also. So, it's inevitable to group the shapes in the tower. Then, to group them, move the tower from top of the box using the arrow keys. Now, move the cursor to the top right side and click on the group tool icon or press Ctrl+G. The shapes in the tower is now a single entity. But hey, the conical shape's color has also changed as the consequence of grouping, right? So now to get back the original color back to the cone, move the cursor to the specification box and click on the solid option. Then from the color palette, instead of choosing a color, Click on the multicolor option at the bottom of the color palette. Did you see that? The code has got back its red color. So now we can place the tower back to its destined position. And that is to the top of the box. Then move the tower and place it at the top of the box using the arrow keys. Now zoom out the work plane by scrolling down the scroll button of the mouse to check the precision of the positioning. Oops, but I think we need to be a bit more patient to get it done perfectly.